Hello Year 8, welcome to my sitting room, and what I'm doing is making a series of videos to explain why we're learning certain things that we are learning. And this whole topic about the First World War, it's quite unique in many ways compared to some things that you'll have done in Year 7, but it's really important for us to understand how conflict around the world can start. There's sadly been thousands, millions perhaps, but certainly thousands of conflicts through history. This one's just one really huge, the First World War. And it helps us to understand how countries relate to each other and why they do the things that they do. We need to keep in mind that there's two sides to every conflict, whether that's a war like this or whether it's an argument. There's always two sides, but it's not about us versus them. We are not Britain over 100 years ago. And it isn't about goodies and baddies either. And to give you an example, my family will have had people living in Germany 100 years ago and living in Britain. It's not a case of us versus them and goodies versus baddies. But we are going to look at the British war effort, what the experience of war was like. We're going to understand why did people join and volunteer, not just necessarily to fight, but also join the armed forces and contribute to the war effort. What motivated them to want to do that? Similarly, what motivated some people to refuse to want to join in with the fighting? And finally, we'll look at how did the war end and what were the consequences. Now, I say it's fairly unique. There are some parallels, particularly with the medieval unit that you did in Year 7 and with the Crusade aspect of that, because we looked at conflict there, the reasons for that conflict, the reasons why people joined the Crusades, and even though it's 1,000 years earlier, there are parallels and reasons, and what the consequences of the Crusades were as well. We're going to look at all of those things in the guise of the First World War, which is a little bit more modern. There's things that we recognise in the First World War, like guns, machine guns, tanks, that sort of thing. So there you go, just a little bit about why we're doing this particular topic.